Hello again, everybody, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. Not a horror game this time. Me and good old Djjunkie are back at it again, and this one is going to be one of the the longest one that we've ever done. This one is playing every single game on Friv.com and ranking it. The rules are simple. We go into a game and we play it for 5 minutes. We have a timer set. We play it for exactly 5 minutes. Whenever the 5 minutes is over, we regroup. We talk about how we felt about the game, and we go from there. We put it on the tier list, and then we move on to the next game. And we are going to be doing this with every single game on this website. So, I truly hope that you all enjoy this one, because it's going to take a while. But let me speak no further. I've spoke long enough. This is playing every game on Friv.com.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
The magician. All right, click play, and I'm gonna. Whenever I hit this button, it's gonna start.
Okay. Real smooth explanation there, DJ. Alright, so the first game up is The Magician, and me and DJ both determined, well, it was no Final Fantasy. The game is just very boring because all you do is click around the screen until you beat the level, which, sure, all the other games are too, but this one just wasn't executed properly. And it was the one that started the series off, hence why it's ranked at the bottom of the list. What a wonderful start. Okay, so I let her rip. She's not ripping.
I don't like this one.
I don't either. Do you think this goes? This goes in the worst piece of shit game ever created right now? We can always swap it around, but like I feel genuinely
like for now this one's going there.
All right.
Next game.
Moving on to the next one though.
Little Wheel.
Little Wheel. So Little Wheel is essentially a game where you're a little robot and you're trying to restore your city's power. And although it is another click game, you can tell that there was a little more effort put into it. Like it wasn't made in literally 6 seconds. Objective: find and activate the main power generator. Controls: use your mouse. Okay, so we take you over here, I guess, and flick you down. Did I do that wrong?
Stupid!
Okay, what now? We just fix our language, and we're done. Never mind. He's a tank, that's for sure. He's a trooper. He held on to that one. That was pretty good. Not gonna lie. It wasn't that bad.
It was
a major jump from the last game.
100%.
100%.
I think it's just kind of just
like mid is pretty good. I like the style of it. Like it was just such a major jump from The Magician to this. It was great.
It was now the milk quest.
Alright, so in the milk quest you're a thirsty cat who wants milk. So what do? You go on an adventure to find some. The game wasn't that great. It was kind of like The Magician, just not nearly as garbage. We water the plant. The plant grows a flower. The bee is happy, and we walk. Go, go, go. Go, dingus. Probably gonna put it in like pretty bad.
This is like a 4.9, 3 to 4.9 tier. I don't know. I think like maybe like a 3.5. I was thinking maybe a 5, but
it's like,
the more I thought about it, you just click. It's not much to it. There's not much like substance. There's not any substance.
Next up is Jelly Dad.
And now on to Jelly Dad Hero. Now, Jelly Dad Hero was actually a pretty enjoyable game. Not gonna lie. So, essentially you're a dad, presumably made of jelly, who saves his family from aliens, I guess? Some kind of creatures that are keeping you and your family captive in a facility. Regardless, this little platformer game is actually pretty fun. Holy, can't jump! My goodness. Boom. Okay. So, don't do that. And I'm just gonna let a battery inside me. Wow, that sounds Djjunkie.
You know, that game was really fun.
That's the thing I was saying is that like I was scared of it being another click game, and it wasn't. The fact that we
This
could
game was really
actually
good.
use our, because you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like the Water Girl and Lava Boy kind of game, where you get to actually like
With
interact.
platformers,
Yeah.
interactive platformers and
So-
stuff like that. 5. We can go to 7.5.
Because like it's still
I think-
pretty good. But now, moving
Oh.
on to Raft Wars.
Both Raft Wars 1 and 2 are incredibly enjoyable, the first being my favorite. You aim, fire, and hope you hit the enemies as they try to retaliate.
No. Okay, Okay, well the baby is gone. That was fun.
I enjoyed it, but I was not very good.
Me
I think
neither.
it was-
2 seconds whenever I finally beat the first
You were on. Really? I was on like the 3rd, 4th level.
I literally couldn't beat the first. I finally got to beat the first level the moment the timer hit 2
That's
seconds.
crazy. You know, I would put this one like a 7.
No, I'm sticking with 9.1. That was fun.
I'm sticking with 8. I'm sticking with 8, and then I moved
That was-
Jelly down here to
That
7.
was peak. I enjoyed that a lot. All right, moving
Raft
on.
Wars 2,
This
the
is
second one.
one. I'm keeping Raft Wars 1 at peak and Raft Wars 2 at very good at like 8. I'll give it 8.7 because it was
I'm gonna
good.
give it-
It was really good. Enjoyed it a lot, but I felt like I had more fun with the first one than I did with the second one.
Because of the fact I don't want this video to be 4 hours long, we're going to a little segment known as Speed Round. Let's go.
Alright, so the next game that we're going to be playing is called Eco Ego, and I didn't like this one very much. It was very boring, and it was literally just a PSA on how to make sure you don't ruin the environment. Kinda lame.
Pretty bad tier. Now this game is known as Farafalla, and it's pretty bad. Realistically, it's not that great of a game. It's a little platformer that you could tell was made back in like the early 2000s. There's no background music, by the way, in this game, which deducts points because to me that's just disturbing. Very bad tier.
Alright, so the next game is Three Pandas, and I'm gonna be so real with you. This game pissed me off. Like, there was nothing to it. It was just super, super boring. It was just another one of those click games, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, no matter how bored you are.
Very bad tier.
So next up, we have a game that's known as Super Playboy, and it was fine. I mean, you're essentially just a superhuman who got booted back to the medieval times, laughed at, and now you're killing them because of the fact they laughed at you, and he hates chickens.
Mid tier. Alright, and this game is known as Stealth Prowler. It's a very low budget, low quality military game where you're just driving around in a really crappy tank and you blow up enemies. Pretty bad tier. Alright, so this next game is known as My Big Friend, and essentially you're just a big sleepy golf ball with some kind of objective. I don't know, me and DJ were both lost in this one. It wasn't bad, it just so confusing. Pretty bad tier. So this game is known as Need Brains, and essentially what you do is you use brains to lure out zombies, and then you have to execute said zombies once you've lured them out. It has a pre-sequel known as Need More Brains, which we also played, and they were both actually pretty good. Both of them in pretty good tier. Next up, we have a game known as Escape Friends, and essentially this one's just another platformer, but it's a 2-player platformer in a sense where both of you have to be at the keyboard, and it's not bad. It was actually executed pretty well, and it was pretty enjoyable. To mid tier. Now this game is known as Chasm, and it was pretty interesting one, I'm not gonna lie. It was mostly like a click around, enjoy the story kind of game. The story wasn't bad, but the gameplay itself was just confusing and it wasn't really that enjoyable, plus it gave me motion sickness and that deducts points. Pretty bad tier. Now this game was known as Truck Loader, and the first one was not too terribly bad of a game. We won't speak on the second one. So the second one legitimately just broke on me, so I can't really give it a rating.
Know your fucking place, trash.
But the first one was actually pretty enjoyable. You just move around on a magnetic little cart thingy and you load up a truck. Mid rating. Now this game is known as Adam and Eve, and it's legitimately just like Milk Quest. There's nothing new to it. It's just a click around game. You go on an adventure, and it's like this for the first, the second, and the third game. So all not entirely too bad, just kind of boring. All three in very bad.
This is natural selection and you're just a spider eating bugs. Pretty good tier.
Now we're on to the last 5 games of part 1. And we're starting this one with a game that is known as Shapeshifter. Now, Shapeshifter was actually a very unique one from all the other platformers that we've done. You can be one of 3 characters, the rabbit, the elephant, or the mouse. And each of them serves a purpose and are needed for certain tasks because that's what they are built for. I actually thought this one was really enjoyable and was executed very, very properly, and I gotta hand it to them. Even after all these years later, they did a wonderful job because this is a game that I would go back to and play.
Alright.
You know who this motherfucker look like, low-key?
Freddy Fazbear lost his hat. Okay. What in the world? So Freddy Fazbear just has a hat. Or not a hat, but a hammer. It's a great
this
start.
game was actually good. I think this game was actually pretty good. It was pretty well
I
made.
think
honestly,
it was...
I think it's better than the Jelly Dad.
I think you're
it's better
tripping.
than the Eco. I think it's better than Eco.
Now, next game up was Vampire Skills, and I didn't enjoy this game all that much because it was another one of those clicker games, and it just wasn't executed properly in my opinion. I didn't have that much enjoyment with it, and I don't think DJ did either. Again, that's just our opinions, but we didn't really like it that much. Holy noggin. Oh my lord. Alright, hypnosis. Ooh. What do you mean? Oh my gosh.
I'm pressing it.
No, it's just hypnosis. Okay, guys. We're only like a minute and a half in. And I think we have a chance for a game to actually compete with the Magician for the worst piece of shit game ever created. I so badly want to throw hands with that fuck-ass vampire. I'm only gonna have literally one because it's the worst piece of shit game ever created, not the worst piece of shit games ever created. So we have to have only one.
Yeah.
I don't think that the vampire one was bad enough to beat the magician. The magician was fucking trash. So the next game up is a game known as Dump Escape, and you are not only a person on land, but a creature in the sea and a bird in the sky trying to escape the dump at the same time. You can keep going through, and every single day you will progress and earn more money so that you can purchase a better character to help you escape the dumps faster. And I died. I'm a mosquito now. It has potential to be good, but it's not.
I think I'm gonna put it under.
I think it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
put it-
in mid, but it's gonna be
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it in
above.
like 5. I think I might put it in 3. I might put it in high 3, right above Milk Quest.
Now, last but certainly not least for this part, Headless Zombie 1 and 2. Now, these games were wonderful games to leave off on, especially considering just how wonderfully made they were. They required you to use some thinking and some strategy to be able to actually get through them, and it was overall a really well-made game and actually very enjoyable. You know, not gonna lie, it's not terrible. I'm kind of digging it.
It
I
is
think
losing its
I
value.
think Jelly Dad is gonna go above the Need More Brain actually, and then I'm gonna put Headless Zombie. I'm gonna put that above Jelly Dad. I feel like it's the same game, but like I don't know. Holy no frames. That electric ball right there is murdering my frames, by the way. I'm
I
gonna
agree.
put it, just because of the frame, I'm gonna put it, I think it's still, no, I'm gonna put it at the top of it. And that will do it for part 1 of playing every single game on Friv.com. There are a couple games on here that are grayed out, essentially meaning that Friv has either taken them down or made them impossible to play. Also, there's a couple of games on here that just do not work, that they're broken, hence why we have the NA, the not available tier, for those that we can't really give a rating because of the fact it just doesn't work. Now, I truly hope you all enjoyed this one because it took a very long time to make. And, well, until I see you all again, goodbye, everybody.